What is going on, everybody? Been a diehard Pistons fan since '03 and eager to see this team getting back to playing winning basketball. Kind of a different video today, but I did want to talk about this as a lot of Pistons fans are chiming in on Twitter and other platforms discussing what seems to be a bit of a stray caught from Jaylen Brown at Media Day today. I'll just go ahead and play the audio clip, and then after that, we will listen to what he said. We'll talk about if it's true, if what he said is actually factual, and then we'll just talk about if this is something that Pistons should be using as bulletin board material and just how Pistons fans in general should be reacting to it. So I don't have the video pulled up. I'll just play the audio clip for copyright purposes, but we'll listen in.
Finding different ways to lead also sometimes means that sacrifice where, in a night we plan, don't mean to disrespect them, but the Detroit Pistons, who have struggled over the last year or two, we're going to play through Peyton, let him go for 30. And play through Sam, let him shoot 10 threes tonight. We're going to still win the game. It don't have to be the normal way, but that gives those guys confidence. That gives those guys ability to run free, and we're going to need that down the line.
So you guys are able to hear what he said there. The first thing we're going to do is just straight up fact check this and see if there's any truth to the matter. So have the box scores pulled up here for the most previous year. We had 3 games against the Celtics last year, and the first thing that we need to do is just check and see if Peyton Pritchard actually gets 30 off on us and if Sam Hauser actually shoots the ball 10 times from behind the three-point line when they play us. So first time we played the Celtics last year was a pretty memorable game, as at this point in time we were on 27 straight losses. At halftime we were up by 20 points and ended up losing the game by 6, I believe, in overtime. And the first game against the season, it definitely wasn't true. Peyton Pritchard had 9 points. That's a far cry from 30. And Sam Hauser shot the ball 6 times in total, 4 times behind the three-point line. They definitely weren't just letting their offense run through Peyton Pritchard or Sam Hauser in this game. If anything, the offense was running through their 2 best players that were active, which was Tatum and Kristaps Porzingis, who combined for 52 shots together between those two. Jaylen Brown himself was out in this game, but guys like Drew and Tatum ended up playing over 43 minutes a pop in an overtime win. So definitely wasn't the case there. Second time we played against the Celtics last year was a little bit later in the season. By this point in the season, no Cade in this game. Lots of players were out by the looks of things. Simone was out as well. Don't remember this particularly, but definitely seems a little bit more true in this game, as Peyton Pritchard did have 23 points, and there was actually no appearance at all from Sam Hauser in this game. So at least you can say that, Peyton Pritchard was their second leading scorer in this game. Jaylen Brown himself did have 31 points, though, and shot the ball more times than anybody else on the team besides Derek White. So wouldn't exactly say that they were running their offense through Peyton Pritchard, but it was closer. And then we played them one more time in late March, where we lost by 25 plus points. And in this game, Sam Hauser did take his 10 3-pointers, like Jalen alluded to there, and Peyton Pritchard had 20. So out of all of the times that we played the Celtics last year, yes, there was one game where Sam Hauser didn't score. He shot the ball 10 times from 3. There was definitely no games where Peyton Pritchard had 30, as he alluded to. But let's be honest, there was a little bit of exaggeration there. His point, more or less, is true. The actual semantics and what he said itself, not exactly, not entirely. There was one game where Sam Hauser did take 10 threes, but Peyton definitely never got 30 off on us. So, should the Pistons take offense to this? Honestly, no, not really. I think that Jaylen Brown could have easily just not mentioned the Pistons directly and said teams that struggle, bottom feeders. I could think of 10 different ways to, point out that he's referencing bad teams without having to pick us out of the bunch. If he would have said the Wizards or anything like that, it would have been the exact same point. Nevertheless, should they take offense to it? Not really, because this is just going to keep happening until the Pistons start winning games, and that's the only way that they're going to fix this problem, because just yesterday, Evan Fournier said something that was a little bit of a backhanded remark on his way out as well, so it's just going to be what it's going to be at this point. is it kind of a rough look? Is it embarrassing that an NBA champion and one of the better players in the league, Jaylen Brown, is at Media Day pointing us out as one of the struggling teams in the NBA? Absolutely. But the fact of the matter is it's going to keep happening until they prove otherwise. Of course, the Pistons haven't won more than 25 games in like 4 seasons. So all they're going to have to do is just not do that anymore. And, we won't get these kind of backhanded, off-putting comments from some of the stars or just other players in the league in general. Look back last year, even Kuzma with his "just don't be that team" tweet. It's going to keep happening and has been happening as long as the Pistons are truly the worst team in the NBA, which on paper last year we were. So it's just going to be what it's going to be. If the players see this, I know it's not a great look for the players. I know that it's probably a little bit more personal for them. I guess at that point, I hope they just use it as bulletin board material, something you put up in the bulletin board and say, hey, before they play the Celtics next year, remember what they said about y'all. I guess use it as motivation. Easier said than done, but it's frustrating because, the emotional side of me wants to be like, hey, dude, you're wrong about this. That never happened. Peyton Pritchard ain't getting 30 on us. But it's just, like I said, it's just going to be what it's going to be until they can find a way to win more games. So I wouldn't be surprised if another comment like this happens from somebody else sooner than later. Like I said just yesterday, Evan Fournier said that leaving the Pistons gave him life, which I could make a whole other video about on that. You could go on for days. It's just going to keep happening until they start to win more games. I know that we've talked a lot on this channel throughout the offseason about the improvements that I think that they made to the roster, why I think that the team is going to be better this year, why I don't think we'll be the worst team this year. But all of that to this point is just words and just talking until the actual product on the court proves that to be true and the Pistons are no longer at the very bottom of the league standings. We're probably going to keep getting these weird comments from other people that are rather unnecessary, but more or less true, unfortunately. So hopefully none of the players on the team take any sort of offense to this. Hopefully this doesn't discourage any players. They're professional athletes, so I highly doubt it would. But at the same time, I can understand why it would just be annoying to be a part of an organization that's catching strays from somebody that a lot of these players on this team probably look up to and someone who they want to emulate their game and career after in Jaylen Brown. Because as a fan, it is annoying, but at the same time, like I've said quite a few times now, it is going to be what it's going to be, and it will change when the Pistons start winning more games. So let me know what y'all think about this. Kind of a weird, unexpected video to make today, but a lot of Pistons fans were talking about it online and whatnot, so kind of wanted to give you all my insight on it and check in with y'all and see what y'all thought. So let me know. I'll catch up with y'all soon.